Hi everyone, I'm Miss Katie from Rockland Public Library, and happy Halloween! Today we're going to be reading Boo Stew. Boo Stew is by Donna L. Washington and illustrated by Jeffrey Ebbeler. Boo Stew. Can you guess what this book is going to be about based on the cover here? Do you see some monsters? We have some monsters here. In this story, they're called scares. Let's see what happens in Boo Stew. There were always scares in Toadsuck Swamp, but Curly Locks didn't pay him much mind. The scares kept to themselves. They only woke up at night, and the most annoying thing they did was a hootin' and a hollerin'. The only thing Curly Locks truly cared about was cooking. Sadly, the townsfolk ran the other way when she offered them batwing brownies, cat hair cupcakes, or toad-eye toffees. Would you like to eat cat hair cupcakes? I don't think I would. It was disappointing, but her mama just said, "Do what your heart loves." Well, her heart loved to cook. One night, Curly Locks left a pan of lizard skin lasagna on the windowsill. When she returned, the dish had been licked clean. She peered out into Toadsuck. "Somebody out there likes my cooking," she said. The next morning, the mayor was singing to himself as he sat down for breakfast when an itty-bitty scare opened the window and plopped right into the middle of his pancakes. It waggled its hairy head. "Gitchy boo, gitchy gone, gitchy goo, gitchy gone." Ah! The mayor lit a blue streak out of the house and nearly knocked down the blacksmith.
"Whoa there, Mr. Mayor. What got you so shook?"
"There's an itty-bitty scare in the middle of my pancakes."
"What's one of those critters doing out during the daylight?"
asked the blacksmith.
"Who cares?" The mayor trembled. "I just want it out of my kitchen."
The blacksmith laughed.
"I'll knock that itty-bitty scare into next Tuesday."
"I wouldn't go in there if I were you," the mayor whispered.
"Well, you ain't me."
The blacksmith stuck out his chest and strutted into the mayor's house. Here he goes. Do you think he can do it? Can he get rid of that itty-bitty scare? The itty-bitty scare was sitting in the middle of a big old mess on the mayor's kitchen table. The blacksmith was getting ready to snatch that critter up by his ear when he felt a tap, tap, tapping on his shoulder.
"Gitchy boo, gitchy bun, gitchy goo, gitchy gone."
Oh no, another! The blacksmith cut out of the house and ran smack dab into the kitchen, into the chicken rancher.
Boom.
"Why you're making so much fuss over that little scare?" asked the chicken rancher.
"Because it's in my kitchen,"
the mayor snapped.
"Two scares,"
said the blacksmith.
"The second one's bigger than the first."
"Bah," said the chicken rancher. "All they ever do is hoot and holler. Don't you fret none, I'll handle it."
"I wouldn't go in there if I were you,"
warned the blacksmith. "Well, you ain't me." The chicken rancher lifted his chin and swaggered into the mayor's house. Do you think he'll do it? Will he get rid of the two scares? Lickety-split, that chicken rancher snatched the itty-bitty scare by the tuft of his hair and lassoed the other with the rope. You scares don't scare me, he roared. The house started a-shaking. The rancher's knees started a-quaking.
Thump, thump, wump. Thump, thump, wump. Gitchy boo, gitchy bon, glitchy goo, gitchy gone. Oh no, and this one is so big. Oh my gosh, look how big it's popping its head out of the roof.
The chicken rancher nearly flew out of the house.
There's 3 of them, he hollered, and the last one's huge.
The stories about the scares spread like a kerosene fire. Curly Locks was heading into town when she saw folks running through the streets. Where y'all going? She yelled. There's scares wrecking the mayor's kitchen, the dressmaker hollered back. Curly Locks remembered the lizard skin lasagna that had been licked clean in the windowsill. She thought. What do you think she's thinking? The lizard skin lasagna had been licked clean. I bet nobody's tried cooking for 'em. I better get over there right away. A frightful din was coming out of the mayor's house when Curly Locks arrived. Easy there, little lady, the mayor called.
There are 3 scares in there, said the blacksmith.
I hear 'em, Curly Locks replied. I'm gonna make 'em something to eat. Bless her heart, said the innkeeper. That don't sound like a good idea. Maybe it is, the barber said. Her cooking could drive anything away.
Do you remember what she likes to cook?
Like the cat-haired cupcakes? Ugh. Curly Sue walked up the front steps. I wouldn't go in there if I were you, yelled the chicken rancher. Well, you ain't me. And with that, Curly Locks clutched her basket, squared her shoulders, and marched into the house. The door shut behind her, and the scares got quiet. Curly Locks peeked into the kitchen. It was a frightful mess. She put her big-bellied pot on the pot-bellied stove and took out possum grease and toadstool and set to work. Gitchy boo, gitchy bon, gitchy goo, gitchy gone. The cupboard burst open and an itty-bitty scare jumped out. Curly Locks didn't bat an eye. I'll go if you'd like, but if I do, you'll never get to taste my famous boo stew. Boo stew? Ooh. The itty-bitty scare sat down at the table and banged his bowl and his spoon together. Said Curly Sue. First we clean off the table, then we wash our hands. Curly Locks was adding powdered beetles, lizard spit to the pot. Then she felt a tap, tap, tapping on her shoulder. Gitchy boo, gitchy bon, gitchy goo, gitchy gone. Curly Locks stiffened, but she didn't let on that she was startled. I'll go if you'd like, but if I do, you'll never get to taste my famous boo stew.
Boo stew? Ooh.
The middle scare clapped his scaly hands. Clean the floor first, said Curly Locks, then set the table. Curly Locks added moose ear broth, toenail clippings, and gnat juice.
Thwomp, thwomp, womp. Thwomp, thwomp, womp. Gitchy boo, gitchy bon, gitchy goo, glitchy gone.
The biggest, thumpiest, wompiest scare of all came a gnashing his scare teeth, and a waggling his scare claws, and a clomping his scare feet. Curlylocks gripped her spoon as tight it nearly snapped in two. I'll go if you'd like, but if I do, you'll never get to try my famous Boo Stew.
Boo's stew? Ooh.
The big scare licked his jowls in anticipation. Clean the ceiling, please. By the time the kitchen was put right, the stew was piping hot and ready to eat. Curlylocks took a taste and smiled. I hope y'all are hungry, 'cause this might be the best batch of Boo Stew east of the Mississippi. Those scares ate until they were as full as ticks in high summer. They licked their fingers, they licked their toes, they licked each other's toes. Curlylocks didn't mind their sorry manners. Why, she'd never seen a single soul enjoy her cooking so. Now carry yourselves back to Toad Swamp, cooed Curlylocks. I'll make Boo Stew and lots of other things for you and your friends every night. Some say that was the finest deal ever struck in those parts. The Scares got themselves a heap of delicious food. With their bellies full, they didn't spend all night hootin' and a-hollerin'. The townsfolk got plenty of sleep now that Toad Suck was quiet. The mayor got a fine tale to tell for years to come. And Curlylocks? She got a load of hearty eaters who appreciated her cooking. And that was the best of all. The end. Can you see her here in her giant pot? And look at all the Scares that she's feeding. Look at this huge one there. The end. Great listening, everyone. I hope you all have a wonderful Halloween, and I can't wait to reach you all soon. Bye-bye.